second aliyah of Parashat Mishpatim. In the second aliyah, it talks about all the laws that have to do with one another. One of the famous ones has to do with when someone damages someone else, when someone hits someone else. A famous pasuk that says, Ayin tachat ayin. An eye for an eye. Very known pasuk, but very scary. People were critics of the Torah when they says, you're very violent. Ayin tachat ayin, you take an eye for an eye? Now we know that the Torah is not violent at all. Even when the Torah tells you that a person is potentially chayav mitah, for death penalty, if you read Masechet Sanhedrin, you'll see it's impossible, basically, to get a person to be going through the death penalty. Impossible. I'm not going to go through all the halachot now, but whoever learns Sanhedrin, they know what I'm talking about. What is ayin tachat ayin, an eye for an eye? Would you poke the guy's eye because he blinded his friend? The Gemara in Masechet Baba Kama, Daf Pe Gimel Amud Bet, page 83b. The Gemara says absolutely not. One of the proofs that we know that it's a monetary payment in order to compensate the damage is because the Gemara says, what happens if a blind person blinds another guy? What are you going to take out from him? His nose? What are you taking? Ayin tachat, he had no ayin. That's just an example. Or someone did not completely blind the person, but partially blinded the person. So the Gemara goes through so many examples. It's impossible that the Torah meant an eye for an eye because it wouldn't apply to all the cases. And the Torah is eternal and about everyone, so it wouldn't work. It must be that it was monetary. Another idea on this, that the word tachat ayin is very loosely translated an eye for an eye, but really it doesn't mean for. It means an eye instead of an eye. Tachat, the word tachat is used also in the Akedat Yitzchak. The Akedat Yitzchak, when Hashem, through the Malach, commands Abraham to leave Yitzchak alone, and he tells him, instead of Abraham, take a ayil, take an animal. He says, Vaikach et ha'ayil tachat beno. He took the ayil, the lamb, instead as a substitute for his son. Which means that tachat comes to substitute something that is not the same as the original one. The original one was a human being. The second one, no. Tachat, instead of. Therefore, ayin, tachat ayin, it must be that the second ayin is a substitute for the first one, and it's not the same nature, because tachat is used for something that is different. That's another reason why we know it's not a physical eye through violence, but it's a monetary compensation. Another reason is because it doesn't say in the pasuk velakachta ayin tachat ayin. It should have said take the eye of this guy instead of the eye for the one he poked, for the one he blinded. It says vinatata, you give. What do you mean you give? You give an eye for an eye. What do you give? What is it to give? You give something to the person who has been hurt. Vinatata ayin tachat ayin. You give the monetary equivalence of what it is to lose an eye to this other person because of the word venatata. The last pshat I would like to share with you is the Gal Mivilna. The Gal Mivilna says beautiful. He says tachat, the word tachat means under. If you take the letters of ayin, venatata, ayin, tachat ayin. The ayin which is under the ayin. What's under ayin? What's under ayin? The letter ayin, pe. What's under the letter yud? Chaf. What's under the letter nun? Samech. What's these three letters? Pe, Samech, and Chaf? Kesef. It's money. Ayin, tachat ayin. Look under the ayin. You take the letters and you'll find what it is. It's kesef. From here we'll learn that it's a monetary payment and not a violent act of removing the eye of the damager.